It's the Weekend Sports Buzz with Tyler Boyd, John Hancock, Mark Blankenbaker.
Epicac. It's the stuff that makes you barf. Basically a get-out-of-work free pass.
Yeah, it makes you barf, dude, because nothing makes me barf. It's weird. I've got a stomach of steel.
Adam, scientists developed that. It would make you vomit.
Because scientists made this.
Yeah.
Who believes in scientists, dude? I'm going to give this little testaroo. That's weird. Definitely don't feel like barfing right now. Oh, wait. No, I'm barfing. I'm barfing right now. I'm not barfing.
Okay.
Wait, I'm barfing. I'm barfing. Those scientists better check their hypotenuses, dude. Oh, God.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Of course, myself, Tyler Boyd, joined with my man, Mark Blankenbaker. As always, it's going to be a fun show, Mark.
Very good. Very good lead-in, too, I thought.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We got some, I know you're talking about the workaholics. I just thought it, but
Very
it kind of fits. It does. It kind of fits our mold this morning. We both enjoyed our nights last night, I do believe.
Extremely enjoyed it, yes.
You did.
I wish you should have been there.
You didn't invite me.
I know. I didn't think so.
Yeah, so you can't really go if you aren't invited, right?
Kind of true.
Yeah, but we did invite some guys to come on our show today, and it's going to be a good guest. Mike Rutherford at 10:15. We moved him up, especially for you, Mark.
Yes, and I appreciate that, Mike, by the way, if you're out there listening.
Exactly. We got Mike Rutherford, cardchronicle.com, 10:15. That's going to be great. We're going to talk about Louisville. We're going to talk about this rivalry game we got coming up 2 weeks away.
Man,
2 weeks in a day.
We're going to finish up some scrimmages this afternoon. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go out there. We got somebody going out to the UK scrimmage. I'm going. That's why I'm leaving. That's why Mike Rutherford needed to come on a little bit early. So
it's going to be just me and Adam for the final 30 minutes.
Yeah, you and Adam, you're going to talk about some.
We're going to talk
really
about
some
stuff.
You're probably going to solve all the world's issues.
I might actually gain some brain cells.
Yeah, you probably will.
Then we got, and let's see, in 25 minutes, 9:30, KentuckySports.co contributor and kind of gone viral over the last week or so, I guess, Jacob Kuiper. He's the, if you want to call him, the head investigator of the UNC scandal.
Deep throat.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, he's like the main mole. And we're going to talk to him about how he did what he did and why.
And why he did it. I want to know why he did this. I mean, he really took it to his own to just kind of attempt to take down UNC, and now UNC is actually going to put out their own investigation. You know?
And the NCAA is going to follow up and get the whole world kind of talking about it. So it's very interesting.
Exactly. So we got an interesting show. If you all want to, give us a shout at any time, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line 384-1450. We'd love to talk to you all. We got some a lot of River Rats, always River Rats, a lot of Bats tickets to give out. Mark, I believe this week is their final homestand. So if you all are interested and you want to go to the Bats game before the season's over, because it's free. We got 30 tickets, I believe.
We got 30 tickets.
We're not giving them all away because there are other shows, but I got myself a little package here. You might get 4 or 5 for the family. If you want to call in, we'll set up a trivia question at the next after this first commercial break.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something, and we'll get these out there. But getting into it, Mark, we got a lot of UK and Louisville news going on lately. A lot of great position breakdowns from our website on the site, KentuckySports.co, cardsandcats.com, from you yourself, the legend.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself the legend, but I definitely did a lot of pre-writing for the season on some position previews for U of L and UK, and we put them up on cardsandcats.com and KentuckySports.co.
Everywhere. People just link them all day, every day.
I know.
You can't even, if you just search Mark Blankenbaker, he's just a big famous guy who pops up on your screen.
Fame guy.
John Hancock pops up, actually.
Yeah, if you type in Mark Blankenbaker, John Hancock does pop up.
But I thought, why not break down the receivers today for both teams? Why not look at the running backs? And if we got time, why not maybe even look over to the quarterbacks?
Absolutely. We'll do some offense.
What do you want to start with? We want to go with the wide receivers?
Yeah.
Let's do that. If you again, 384-1450. We're 2 weeks away, so it's time to get into the UK U of L talk. I'm talking an hour and a half. I guess we have guests, for 30 minutes, but an hour and a half. I mean, the Olympics are over. I'm glad that's over. So now we get to talk strictly what we love, Mark.
You are excited that the Olympics are over?
Yes.
I was a little tired of them too at the end. I was like, man, how many sports can I watch that I don't really care about?
Foiling.
Yeah, I want to foil.
I want
to watch some archery.
Yeah.
You
want to watch BMX?
Do I really want to watch? Why am I watching men's gymnastics right now?
When I saw that guy in men's diving with their Speedo on give his other buddy an ass smack for a good, good job, buddy. That was a little too much for me. I turned off the Olympics for the final 3 days.
You're like, I don't know if I'm done.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm done.
I'm starting to question who I am, so I got to turn this off.
I did not want to see that. I can say that on a 9:30 evening before I had to go to bed. But yeah, let's start out with your squad, your favorite Cardinals. You're going to be there today to practice, getting some post game, some great footage, some great interviews. I hope.
Yeah, man. You never know what you're going to get when you show up, but that's part of life. Just showing up.
Just show up. And I mean, that's what we do here. We just show up and see what happens, see what we start talking about. Yeah, I mean, give us a little update, Mark. Obviously, we've talked receivers before. You know, we had Jody Denman on, talked everything with him. We've talked last week with Mike Hughes. We covered it, but Michael Lee Harris, he's down. You know, what's this receiving core looking like for your Cards?
Well, you know, we're going to find out a lot today. Michael Lee Harris, he was our leading regular season receiver last year, and he tore his ACL in camp. This is about 2-week-old news. And they kind of covered their bets really nicely with Bryce McNeil, who's a transfer from Clemson. And they're going to learn a lot more about him today because he's only been practicing this week. But he's a former 4-star recruit out of Minneapolis. He graduated from Clemson in 3 years, have 2 years of eligibility remaining. And, you know, they say that he looks really good in drills, and they're going to find out more what he does in game situations today. And then the other way that they covered their bet is they actually moved Charles Gaines from cornerback to receiver. And he kind of provides another deep play threat outside of Andrell Smith and Devontae Parker, who play a similar position.
What about Eli Rogers?
Eli Rogers is a slot guy, so he's more inside. So he's going to be like the guy that catches all Teddy's underneath stuff. And then you got guys like Damian Copeland, who's really coming on, and he's been suffered a lot of injuries, you know, over the past 3 years that he's been here in the program. And so he's going to be a junior. And I actually talked to Damian. He's a really confident young man. Fans will recognize him by his little honey badger do. So now that Tyrann Mathieu actually not in college football anymore.
For a year.
Well, he's going to go to the NFL after this anyway. But Damian Copeland kind of gets to fill the void of the honey badger not being around anymore. So,
no, there is no honey badger squared, Mark. Come on.
Let's just say he's not going to be on any Heisman list, but he at least has the haircut. And then you got to go through, you know, Scott Radcliffe. He's a walk-on from Trinity, but he caught, you know, I think it was 11 or 12 balls.
He's a big dude, isn't he?
He's not big. He's
I'm thinking of tight end. I'm thinking of I can't get a name. I don't know any of the Cards.
We'll go to the tight end here.
That's why I brought you in. That's why I brought you in.
But Scott Radcliffe, he sprained his MCL, but Jarrett Davis kind of fills in his void. It's just really a great deep position for Louisville. You don't want to lose a guy like Michael Lee Harris, but if you do, you have some really good pieces of the puzzle to kind of replace.
They got to look at it. Obviously, Kentucky now. Glenn Faulkner, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with his high ankle injury.
He actually had surgery on it.
Yeah, he had surgery. I believe it was Thursday. Joker Phillips announced after practice. So that is a blow. He was a Army All-American. He was a very talented young man. He was a sophomore only, you know, getting a starting nod. And then
he was, but you know what? That's the thing is that he actually wasn't listed as the number one on the depth chart.
Which is good, though, for Kentucky.
Which is really good.
If you
have a guy that talented, but it does hurt your depth. You already moved Martavius Nellums from the safety position to the cornerback position.
We already had, what's his name, was ruled ineligible, I do believe.
Marcus Caffey.
Marcus Caffey, yes.
Which is why Nellums had to move from safety to corner. So you don't want to lose another safety like Faulkner, even if he wasn't going to be your starter. But, you know, he's going to be that position's going to be okay.
So for the Cards out there, you know, all the fans, 384-1450, who are in your eyes, the two guys? Obviously, we know Devontae Parker. I think he's a stud. I'm a Kentucky fan. I really do enjoy watching Devontae Parker. He doesn't ever drop balls. I don't think I've ever seen him drop ball. Even when he was at Ballard, he'd go up one-handed and bring it down 3 touchdowns. It was ridiculous. But is he the key? Is he the number one looking for Teddy? Is it maybe an Andrell Smith, like you said? You know, who is it?
Well, it all depends on protection for Teddy Bridgewater. Last year, Teddy Bridgewater's biggest weapon is his deep ball. I mean, he throws probably one of the prettiest deep balls you'll ever see. But a quarterback can't throw the deep ball if he's running for his life and getting flushed out of the pocket. He has to hit the short to intermediate throws. So that's why a lot of fans were like, hey, why isn't Devontae Parker getting the ball? Well, it's because Teddy can't set his feet. You know, he's not going to be able to throw 30 yards downfield if he's running. So, you know, it all depends on protection. If Teddy gets protection, guys like Devontae Parker, Andrell Smith, and Charles Gaines are huge weapons in the Cardinal offense. If they're not, if he can't get protection, Eli Rogers, Scott Radcliffe, Jarrett Davis, Damian Copeland, these are the guys that you're looking to
And you got to
really
look,
step up.
Louisville's got a good running game as well, so that can open up a lot for you guys on the outside. your slots moving around. Louisville, in my opinion, is a very good, it's a deep team. I know I like to make fun of Louisville as much as I possibly can, but I'll give them credit when it's due. They are very deep. I know I can hear, every Card fan tell me this, but I trust your word. You're there in the mold. You're always doing this stuff. Looking on to the, like I said, the running back things for Louisville. That's another first-time starter, I believe, for what's his name?
Dominic Brown. He started last year.
I'm thinking
after
of
he kind of came over.
The other back.
You're talking about Jeremy Wright?
Yeah,
Jeremy Wright.
Maybe I had a dream last night.
I think
I just haven't dreamed.
It's okay. We got Dominic Brown.
The first segment today is just a little slow. We'll get through it.
We got Dominic Brown, Jeremy Wright, Senores Perry, and Corbin Lamb that are going to be your main guys.
Corbin Lamb is supposed to be a young stud, isn't he?
Right, but he's out with a wrist injury
Yes.
for today's scrimmage, but he'll be back on Monday. At least he's expected back on Monday. But the running game and the passing game are really kind of intertwined. Like you said, when you run the ball, you can throw the ball. When you can throw the ball, you can run the ball. Well, like Devontae Parker, Andrel Smith, and Charles Gaines are going to clear out your outside corners. There's going to be a lot of running room to work with because now the cornerback's going to kind of clear out, the safety's going to clear out. So you should be able to hit the outside. That is going to help a lot. Last year, the receivers couldn't go deep, so there was not a lot of running room, especially on the outside. Louisville had to run between the tackles a great deal. Senores Perry is probably one of the fastest players on the team. He's not going to get as many carries as a Dominic Brown and Jeremy Wright will. They'll probably get about 17 each a game. I would say that they're going to carry the load. We'll find out more today after we talk to Sean Watson.
Now, is this an open practice for the media, or it's closed, isn't it?
It's closed, but generally the coaches tell us a great deal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sometimes they kind of get close to the vest. Like if they're not going to tell us their scheme.
The coaches want to get it out there, even if they don't want to get it out there. Exactly. They're not going to tell you their game plan, what exactly they're doing, but they still want you to know what's going on.
Right, and sometimes they deliver messages to their players through the media, which is really interesting. Like you'll see, Clint Hurt will do this with one of his ends, BJ. BJ Butler specifically. He'll be like, I don't know, you got BJ DeBose and Marcus Smith.
BJ DeBose.
Yeah. And he'll be like, these are my main guys. And it's a direct message to BJ Butler to step it up because he's obviously more of an every down end than Marcus Smith, who's primarily used as a pass rusher, but he'll deliver a message.
All I know is that Kentucky linebacking core is going to be going nuclear mentor on you guys, left and right, no knockdown sacks. I can't wait. I do believe it's going to be a good game. I'm sorry for all the people that think it's going to be a blowout. I know it's 14 points for Vegas. Vegas is pretty good. I think it's going to be 7-10.
I don't disagree with that.
7-10
if
range.
it was 7-10, I would totally.
You can't be mad, right?
I would see that.
You could be happy with 1-point victory because it's a victory.
Well, the thing is that Kentucky's defense does blitz. Really, they're going to blitz a lot.
It's the Rick Minter defense. That's what he's known for.
It's what they almost have to cover up their secondary. That's going to be the weakness of their team. Their strength is going to be in the interior defensive line and in the linebackers on defense.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're going to try to cover up their secondary like crazy. But if they don't, if they sit back on their heels, a guy like Teddy Bridgewater or any quarterback, really.
Very mobile, Teddy Bridgewater, too.
Very mobile. But he's not really a designed runner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's somebody that's going to, slide in the pocket. He's going to run 10 yards out of the pocket to make
Which is all you really need. If you can get outside of the pocket and get outside those initial blitzers, you're fine. As I was broadcasting the Oldham County game, I saw a lot of blitzing last night. And if you can get outside, I found out in high school, if you can get outside the pocket, there's a good chance, and outside of those tacklers, there's a good chance you might get an extra 20 yards just because it's different in a high school game. I did find that out.
It's different. It's hard to cover in any level for longer than 3 or 4 seconds. In high school, it's even harder. Because there's a ton of space out there if you don't have the
especially
speed.
in a slow Big East. You guys,
really
going to struggle against the very fast.
The old slow Big East.
Old slow Big East. Anyways, let's get to this first break. We're going to come back and break down Kentucky receivers, talk about them a little bit, see what we got about them. Obviously, last season was kind of a struggle with drop balls, but this year's going to be different. You know why, Mark? Because we had a quarterback win the last game of the season, a wide receiver run at quarterback win against Tennessee. It's just going to be a carryover this year, or our King's going to have a great season.
Okay.
He is.
I like Lerod.
All right, good.
But they do still drop the ball quite a bit.
All right, they do. We'll find out those weekend sports buzz. We'll be right back.
All right.
I'm excited for.
I got to get this Kentucky wide receivers thing pulled up.
I got all the links.
Oh, really?
All the documents, all the links are
I'm like searching all over. Looking.
what I was going to talk about was all of it. So you can have it right there.
All right, let me.
I mean,
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Once there was this girl who wouldn't go and change with the girls in the change room, and when they finally made her.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. If you need a counselor, you can call us at 384-1450. Adam behind the glass, he's a little depressed.
First day on the solo.
He's a little depressed.
Running the show solo. No Matt in the building today, and he should be happy, but he's depressed.
I think
Matt is.
Do you have a little thing going on with like a woman, little thing in the personal life, Adam? You
Matt
good to go?
Matt continuously sends.
Life's all right.
Yeah, his life's okay.
It's
Okay.
fine. He's
I was
fine.
just worried. You play something like that, I get a little concerned for you, man.
It doesn't matter wherever Matt is. It's awful music. We need to teach us how to do the mixer and all that good stuff. Actually, we'll never do it.
No, we would play something that would get our FCC license revoked.
Yeah,
probably. So that's probably better that they just play this.
I think Kelly's got some Nate Dogg lined up.
Yeah, Nate Dogg.
That would be a very appropriate sometimes. We do have Jacob Kuiper coming on here in about 5-6 minutes, so it will be a short segment. We're going to talk receivers, after Jacob's on the line to break down that UNC issue. A lot of stuff coming out about it lately, so why not talk about it to the man himself that basically got it going. Little news going on today. Larry Bird retired today, a mark in 1992.
He did?
The Bird.
The Bird with the back.
The Bird from
French Lick.
From French Lick.
Indiana
Speaking
State.
of from, why not give him out the old Bats trivia question?
Yeah.
How many NBA championships did Larry Bird win?
No Wikipedia. No Google.
I don't care. You can wiki it. Do whatever you got to do to get me the answer. 384-1450 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. Again, you can, if you need 3, 4, maybe even 5 Bats tickets, they're all yours. The final homestand is this week, so you want to get out there and enjoy it with the family. How many NBA championships did Larry Bird, have in his NBA career? Bird. And he had one of the greatest McDonald's commercials ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
him and
MJ. Oh, yeah, and they actually recreated that like a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
Who was that? Dwight Howard and LeBron?
Yeah, it was Dwight and Ron.
Dwight Howard would never get that endorsement today.
Duh.
I'm just watching Jerome Simpson jump over this guy.
That was awesome.
This is a flashback, actually, and then he did it again last night.
Did you see his quote about it?
No,
I just jump when I need to.
I just jump when I need to.
I just jump when I need to.
Why does he need to jump in a preseason game?
Because he needed to. He's going to get rocked. And it seemed to work, didn't it? He made the highlight reel.
He's also a guy who got arrested for, tons of drugs in his trunk of his car last season and had to miss a lot of he got suspended during the year.
Hey, partying happens, okay, Mark?
Only with the Bengals. Now that he's with the Vikings, he's a model citizen.
Neither of us are Bengals fans. I'm just excited about the Browns. They're 2-0 in the preseason. How about
yes,
that?
the Browns.
We're going. You got
They're
Trent
winning
Richardson,
games
rookie year. Brandon Weeden, rookie year. They're just going to combine it, split it.
I'm very happy that you're excited that they're winning games that don't matter.
Oh, it is. I'm excited.
Pumped. Dog pound. Way to go.
Gosh, that face really just made me angry. Just dog pound.
They're going to be terrible.
Let's get to the buzz line because our man is on the line a few minutes early. No big deal. We'll bring him on. Let's do it. Jacob Kuiper's on the line. How are you doing today, my buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
We're doing great. It's been a long time since we've talked to you.
I know. It's been close to 3 months, I believe.
I know. I'm glad we're going to start getting you back on. Obviously, you have one of the first time.
Getting into it, we found out you are basically the man himself that is attempting to kind of get UNC, investigated. Obviously, now the NCAA is doing so. First question is, what made you, kind of do your own personal investigation of this UNC issue?
Well, I'm a common average fan, but I like being a thorn in people's side when it comes to these kind of things. I have dabbled in some investigative stuff in the past. In the past, though, it's mainly been stories revolving around Kentucky basketball that interested me, and I just wanted to do some digging. And this time, just saw that there was definitely an issue going on with UNC, and it kind of irritated me that everyone was ignoring the fact that basketball was likely involved. Football was getting all the attention, and everyone knew that if football was involved, basketball probably was too, and it turns out that I was right.
Yeah, for sure.
Basketball was involved.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
So,
the football got the big, or the initial news they had, when Butch Davis, if I'm correct, Mark, was the head coach in North Carolina. He was. He had a talented team there. Obviously, they're all not even really attending classes, and they did get the penalties kind of put down a football program. But, yeah, Jake made a good point. They didn't even think to look at the basketball. Just maybe, I don't know if it's Daggum Roy. I don't know, Daggum just doing the good thing. But, and then you decided to get into it. And you did find a lot of stuff. One thing that interested me is this email exchange you had between, if I'm correct, the UNC AD, right?
It's not the AD. It's Professor Jenkins, who is the current chair of the African and Afro-American Studies Department. When Julius Nyangaro, who is the professor who was, at least over the last 5 years, who has been linked to all the fraud, he was the first and only department chair of the department, but he stepped down over the summer, and then Dr. Jenkins stepped in. So he's the current head of the department.
Okay,
Got it.
But basically,
Jacob, I was just going to cut in here. This is obviously a program that was created at the university level that was taken advantage of at the athletic level. It seemed like it was just very much a concerted effort between the two entities together. What does this mean in terms of NCAA violations, and then also, like, what does it mean for people who have gotten degrees and basically possibly even been defrauded by University of North Carolina? They've paid their tuition and gone and gotten these degrees.
Well, putting my fan hat aside, as a rational, person here, UNC's they're in trouble. It's going to be bad. Outside of the fact that sports banners in championships and Final Fours need to come down, people need to realize that UNC is a public institution. It is funded partly by donations, but it also gets public dollars. And this is fraud that has been committed with public dollars. And because of that, UNC, they are also risking losing accreditation as a university, not to mention all of the NCAA and sports crimes that have been committed as well.
So do you actually think people will actually go to jail over this in the end?
I do not doubt it at all, unless they talk. I think that Dr. Nyangoro, former head, Deborah Crowder, who has already been implicated, she was a long-term administrative assistant. Right now, those two are the ones that UNC is trying to place all the blame on within the department, is Dr. Nyangoro and Deborah Crowder. And UNC would love for you to believe that those are the only two people who were involved with it. So they're trying to make them the ball person. Right now, they are both retired on state pensions, oddly enough. So they're guilty of fraud with state dollars, yet they are retired on state pensions. At some point, that has to stop. And now that UNC has paid an outside auditing agency to investigate, I sincerely trust that a lot more details are about to start coming out in the next 6 months.
Right. I mean, you got an academic program that athletes took advantage of. Ineligible players actually ended up playing, like Julius Peppers. It was kind of came
Absolutely.
out. So it seems like this is kind of a very robust scandal. In college athletics. Why is there very little coverage up to today from like the major sports networks like ESPN, and they seem to just now be catching on this story that seems like it's been going on for a few months now?
Well, I have a good answer for that, I believe. One, Dan Kane, who works in Raleigh for the News and Observer, he's the local guy who's been pushing this from the start. But as you said, there was kind of a national embargo on this, and I actually worked with Jason McIntyre of the Big Lead on an article, and honestly, it was the first national article that was written about this. It was almost like the national media was afraid to jump on it until someone else went first.
Right.
And then after Jason McIntyre of the Big Lead, kind of broke the silence, or the radio silence, everyone else kind of followed suit. But Greg Doyle was on the air the other day and was talking about this very issue. And he says, Greg Doyle isn't afraid to speak his mind. And he said, I like UNC. I refused to believe that UNC could do this. UNC is kind of the media darling. No one wants to think that UNC is capable of something. The fans refer to the Carolina way. Their whole mystique is that they are clean, they are innocent, they don't do things like this. And I think a lot of the media wanted to kind of stick their head in the sands and pretend. And then there's also the case, as Greg Doyle pointed out, that national media, they investigate who they don't like, and they don't investigate who they like.
Right.
And North Carolina, they're the media darling. No one wanted to touch them. But then Greg Doyle, who I'm assuming you've seen that scathing article that he wrote, said, at a certain point, I couldn't deny it anymore. I didn't want to think it.
Right. At a certain point, he had to say, "Look, this is something I have to report on as my job." Like we've seen other scandals like that in the past, with the Duke lacrosse players scandal, and then also up in Penn State more recently. reporters kind of reported on this and then ended up losing their jobs later in both those cases. Do you think that played a role in maybe them wanting to get it right, or do you think it's more of they just liked UNC and they didn't want to believe it, like you said before?
Well, it's probably both. I mean, it's kind of like, I make no secret about the fact that I'm a Kentucky fan. If I had dirt or some kind of suspicion on Kentucky sports, I would have a very hard time digging into that because I'm a fan. I like them. I mean, I think all media, whether or not they want to admit it, they have their favorite teams. They have their favorite coaches. They have the coaches that talk to them to give them interviews. John Calipari is notorious when you do him wrong in the media, he stonewalls you. He doesn't talk to you.
Right.
Which I think that's part of why.
Go ahead.
Which is part of why certain media members don't like him, among other reasons, but because he doesn't talk to certain people. Roy Williams gives certain reporters interviews, but also back to you said people losing their jobs. Everyone is ready for ESPN to speak out on this, but again, the president of ESPN is John Skipper. And John Skipper is a UNC Chapel Hill alumni.
Yep, that is correct.
So,
I think you hit it on that. Some coaches do pick their favorite media members, and they will give them information. As that will obviously tend to the media guy leaning in their favor and kind of liking them more. Obviously, Calipari is going to do what he wants, say what he wants, and choose who he wants to talk to, as every coach does. But it's a crazy situation going on at UNC, considering that it was totally covered up for this long, and that this came out, Mark, 4 months ago or so. I mean, obviously the UNC scandal happened over a year ago with the football program, but now this came out and it kind of just went under the back burner, and now Jacob kind of brought it back out. Again, we have Jacob Kuiper on. I'm glad you did, but let me ask you, Jacob, obviously since you are the Kentucky fan here, now if this was Kentucky and John Calipari's situation going on, what is it the blue shade glasses or not that they would be harping down? I mean, Mark Emmert would live on Kentucky's campus until he found out what was going on?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and the media would have been all over this months ago. ESPN would have been all over this months ago. And I don't know if you've seen the recent CBS Sports series of polls that have come out with the anonymous coaches. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, well, yeah, we put them on. We put a few of them on the site, as in bending the rules and et cetera like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and evidently there are 20-something questions that were asked to anonymous coaches by Jeff Goodman of CBS, and every one of them, well, it seems like most of them are somehow pointed toward John Calipari. So, right now you have CBS Sports, who's on this little witch hunt right now. So, yeah, the media, Kentucky's a target. So if it's the same story in Kentucky, it'd be a front page story on every sports media website and radio show and television program.
It'd be leading, exactly. It would lead with every show in America that wants to talk about college basketball. What's going on in the big sporting worlds. I would agree with you. Jacob, getting off to the harsh, serious topic there to UNC real quick. You are a Kentucky fan, and we are getting close to this UK-U of L game. Since you are, one of the KentuckySports.co and CardsandCats.com contributors, what do you think about the game? Are you excited for football season?
I am excited. Oddly though, lately I haven't been able to watch a whole lot of sports due to some other life events, but I am excited for it. I realize Kentucky had a bad season last year, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I really don't think Kentucky can be any worse this year than they were last year. I understand U of L is a 2-touchdown favorite in the Governor's Cup, but I wouldn't at all be surprised to see Kentucky pull a very minor upset.
Yeah, think back to 2002. I think the line was even higher than this. Louisville's favorite was even higher. So yeah, I think we're all on the same page. We are excited that football season's here. Before we let you go, everything's going well in the personal life, I'm assuming.
Everything is going very well right now. Everything, we've had a rough couple months, but things are moving along nicely.
I'm glad. That's glad to hear. Again, you can follow Jacob Kuiper on Twitter. It's @JacobKuiper, and you can check out his great blogs. The season's here. Whenever he's available, he busts out the greatest stat blogs you'll ever come across on KentuckySports.co. So, Jacob, we appreciate you taking a few minutes, and hope everything continues to go positive.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jacob.
Jacob Kuiper there, KentuckySports.co, Cards Cats contributor. He's
Does have a great radio voice.
He does have a good radio voice, and I think he's around my age. He's just so deep, just crazy. When we initially had him on in the Bluegrass Breakdown, Matt's Basement show, we brought him on, and it was amazing. But yeah, he did so much investigation. He lives in Owensboro, if I'm correct,
right.
and he does have some stuff going on with the issues, and it's going well.
I just think it's amazing if you look at what this entire UNC academic scandal is really going to end up being about. I think it's just amazing that ESPN feels like they can get away with not reporting on it. Like it honestly like angers me because they will point at the smallest of things and make the biggest deal out of the smallest of issues. But when something like this comes out and you have proof, a dean of a school has resigned as a result of this, and you still don't even cover it. UNC plays ineligible players, and you're still not covering it.
I mean, how does the NCAA let this go by? Is so under the radar. I mean,
the NCAA moves slowly.
I know that, but look at every college out there. There's always somebody ruled ineligible due to this. How did they not have one guy in this entire however
Probably because they trusted the person that's in compliance at North Carolina more than they should have.
Who knows? I don't know. We got to go to our break here. Appreciate Jacob coming on again. If y'all want to give us a call, 384-1450. We're going to come back and continue talking Louisville, Kentucky. We got some breakdowns to continue with. I wanted to get into this Kentucky exhibition game that's been announced. There's some controversy going on.
It's not official.
I know, and it might not be because of what's going down. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Overshadow nobody even be at the football stuff.
Right.
It's the same exact night.
Well, they said that. Oh, so
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go there will be trouble, and if I stay it will be double.
We're back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. It's been a fun little morning so far. Thanks to Jacob Kuiper for joining us, talking a little UNC. Obviously, I'm going to want to throw in what's going down tomorrow, Mark. It's a full show. We got Mark Rutherford coming on 10:30. Not to totally
10:15.
Yeah, 10:15. Sorry, because you're leaving at 10:30.
I'm leaving at 10:30.
You're leaving at 10:30. 10:15. Mike Rutherford. So we're excited to bring him on. Last time we brought him on, we had 90,000 plus hits on iHigh.com. It was a national record.
Brings the party.
So I'm hoping he's bringing the party today as well. Because I love talking to Mike. It always gets weird. You never know.
Oh,
Mike.
you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. But tomorrow, we got a full day tomorrow. Obviously, we are live from 10 to noon on the Weekend Sports Buzz, me and Kelly Patrick. But we got a man coming in the studio you may have heard of, Louisville fans. Earl Heyman, Orange Bowl champ, Super Bowl champ, Indiana Golden Gloves heavyweight champion, ringside national heavyweight champion. This man is a beast. Earl Heyman, he's going to co-host with me and Kelly for the full 2 hours tomorrow.
People just throw titles his way.
They just throw titles
He's going
his
for
way.
Klitschko.
He's going for Klitschko, and we're going to talk to him all about that, tomorrow, all about his football and NFL career. Maybe get into some bounty gate, see how much he got paid to crack somebody's back. You never know.
I'm interested to know about that.
Are you?
Did he get any bounty money?
We will find out, I guess.
He's not in the NFL.
He's not in the NFL. He might have a clause maybe on him, but he will punch you out, so who cares?
Yeah, just do it from the other side of the glass, Tyler.
Exactly.
Don't enrage him when you're in the same room.
It's going to be, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Hope he brings his belt. Earl, if you're listening, you got to bring the belt.
Bring the belt.
Bring the belt. I want a picture of the belt. And then also Lance McAllister, 700 WLW, talking Cincinnati Reds because they're awesome. We're going to have him on. And I'm forgetting somebody because there's another guest. We got Farrell Elliott. How do I forget Farrell? My man Farrell. We're talking fantasy football because we got 1 week from tomorrow. 1 week from yesterday. The drafts get going up at the Horseshoe Casino, kffsc.com. You might still be able to register if you call Farrell, give him a shout, get on the website, check it out. It's going to be a great time.
I'm doing a draft tomorrow.
Are you? Who
fun.
are you thinking, Mark, in your first round?
I have no idea. I might let it auto pick for me.
It's obviously not a money league.
It is.
I'm
better.
Can I draft for you? I'm a 3-time playoff runner when a defending champion. All right?
I would have a better chance of just letting the computer pick for me than I would pick myself.
You need me.
Yeah, maybe. I might need you.
15%.
Tomorrow night, come on over.
15%.
Or they're only playing for $20 a head.
Oh, never mind.
It's not like
out of there. KFF's is big time money.
I know.
We'll be at the casino this weekend. Tomorrow, of course, Earl Heyman. Next weekend, we will be at the casino for the show on the Sunday. And then the following weekend, Mark.
Here it is.
UK U of L, Governor's Cup. I hope that you're going to be at the tailgate where we are joining us on the show.
I will try to be there.
For at least 10 minutes.
Yes. Even if I can, I'll call in.
Yes.
There we go.
We want you to call because we're going to try to get all 1450 on that show. It's going to be a fun show. Getting in a little bit more here, Kentucky. I wanted to bring this up. We kind of teased it going into break. The Cal Party kind of announced at the West Liberty, if you want to call it the fundraiser for West Liberty, and I've heard last night that UK fans possibly pulled over $60,000 since he announced it.
$60,000.
That's just amazing.
It's the other show on the other network.
Yeah, the other show on the other network that we don't want to talk
about.
But
still awesome because Kentucky. Kentucky fans.
Louisville fans might have threw in too. Louisville fans might help.
I'm sure they did.
I saw Louisville people tweeting it. I mean, I'm sure they might have thrown because it's not for Kentucky.
It's a good cause, and it's something for your fellow Kentuckians.
Yes.
And, we're all from the same
I know
place.
there's a great wall of Louisville around the city for most of you Card fans and whatnot.
Not really.
But, it is for Kentucky, and for West Liberty, that's huge. But he announced a little something that there might be an all-star game, kind of an alumni, maybe 96 versus the pros that are current pros.
It would be very interesting concept.
Awesome.
But we're hearing now that maybe it would conflict with the football game, that they would have that same exact day.
Yeah, I'm looking at what's like Larry Vaught wrote a little piece about this. It would be September 15th if it happened. It's not set in stone, obviously. That same weekend, Kentucky and Western Kentucky play. I believe it's a night game, as the basketball game would be. You look at this. They're worried that Larry Vaught is worried that this would take away from the football game. This is not just a football game. You have a not senior night. You have a Hall of Fame weekend going on here as well. You know, Derek Abney is going to get inducted. J.B. Holmes, to name a few. They're all going to be there. That game, Mark, basketball game with all these professional basketball players that Kentucky fans love, it would definitely take away from this game, right?
It would absolutely take away from the game.
Yeah.
Which, why not play it then the very next week? You're at Florida.
Why not play it early in the day where everybody's on campus?
Right.
And then they can just walk over to Commonwealth and enjoy the game.
You could do it that way, too. I mean, you could even have the game at Memorial.
24,000 would be there.
You could even have it at Memorial and keep it on campus so all the people tailgating wouldn't have that long of a walk. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get as many people in.
Yeah, there's not enough room for
But hey, you know what? Let's make the ticket scarce. Leave it on campus. We'll get the buzz on campus. Go beat Western, or you do it the very next weekend when you're at Florida, and then everybody doesn't. They can just kind of forget that game ever happened.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's just like it didn't even happen.
Florida's going to be good. They're one of my sleepers in the SEC.
Florida will be very good.
I guess you can't really call Florida a sleeper. But over the last since the Much Camp and Meyer was gone, you kind of are a sleeper now.
He had a bad year last year, but one of the things is that he had one of the youngest teams in college football, much like Louisville last year. Very young.
I mean, he had a new program for him, coming from the Big 12 in Texas.
Yeah, but I do think he made a mistake because I think Mac Brown is going to get fired or resign after this season because I don't think
he's
Texas
stuck
is going to be
in
very
Texas
good.
because he wanted that job for years,
and then now he leaves too early.
But now look at it, maybe. Just maybe there's something he knows, and we'll come get you from Florida if you want it back.
Maybe. I mean, because Texas can pay more for a football coach than probably any program, even more than Notre Dame.
Either way, I mean, it's a good coaching job you're doing. But a little excerpt from the Larry Vaught issue. Surely there could be a way to play the basketball game some other weekend. Don't forget, this is all, the Hall of Fame weekend, as we mentioned. They'll be way overshadowed by the exhibition game. As a Kentucky fan, it would be. I would like to see either, just schedule it early in the day, schedule it the next weekend. Just don't make it on the same night as your football team, especially against Western. It's
in-state team.
Not really, in-state team, not really a rival, but the Hall of Fame weekend. Make it strictly for this, what's going on, because it will be packed. It really will.
I mean, that game last year was the opening game of the season, and it was close. I mean, it was closer than it should have been.
Because it's in Nashville, the dumbest opening game ever.
It didn't make sense, but I guess what I'm saying is that how, if it was close last year, Kentucky's supposed to be better. So is Western because they have a really good coach in Willie Taggart. How deflating would it be for your team to kind of come out to an empty stadium,
half-empty stadium,
and then here's a game that was close last season. You should beat them, regardless, but it leaves your team vulnerable.
I mean, coming in, if they walked into that game and see his half-empty stadium because they know people are watching an exhibition basketball game, it's just, that's defeat right there. In my opinion.
A game that the guys will never be able to play for them again ever.
It's a great concept. I love what Cal's doing. It's it's all for
I think so. It could,
for the fans for benefiting.
It would benefit. What would it benefit? Do you remember?
I'm sure it would go to a little bit of West Liberty.
Would it be West Liberty?
And maybe Cal Perry's fund he has as well.
It would crush. It would be a huge fundraiser for that.
It'd be great. That's why it needs to happen.
Worthwhile. Yeah, it needs to happen. How about the 22nd? How about the morning, like 10 a.m. at 9:15?
Exactly.
That would be a great way.
A little too early because I want to go.
It'd be a great way to start off your tailgate, though.
That'd be amazing. But
2 hours to get out of there about 3 o'clock.
I don't think the 96 old guys want to get up that early and play basketball. They got to get.
They're not that old.
I know. You got Nazi still in the league.
They're what are they now? 38.
Yeah, you got
the oldest guys.
They could all still play in the NBA if they were still if they're still good enough.
Right.
They're obviously the talent levels a little bit.
Who'd you take? 96 or the pros? I'd take the pros.
I take the pros just because they're in shape.
Young, yeah.
I take 96.
Maybe they even the odds and put John Wall in 96.
Maybe
that would be.
Or
tight.
maybe Anthony Davis since he was on the Dream Team or the USA team. Just
I don't know.
Throw him in a bun. They need a defender.
They got Nazi.
Yeah, they do got Nazi. They would need John Wall. They need that PG.
Even up the odds, you put one player.
Michael Porter. Get him out of jail. Bring him. No. 384-1450. It's been. If you want to give a shout, it's been a good show so far. Do so. I'm looking at the schedule here, Mark, a little bit. As a Kentucky fan, I'm actually looking forward to a couple of these games. I'm looking forward to the Missouri game at Missouri. I'm excited to see what the fans are going to bring into the SEC. I think it's going to be a big wake-up call for both of the new teams. I know they're in the Big 12. I know they're big-time football. They're nothing new, but it's just going to be a little different.
Yeah, I think if I'm A&M, I'm really excited about seeing where I match up. Mm-hmm. If I'm Missouri, I'm excited because I feel like I'm in a division that I can compete in. Occasionally. I think A&M has the potential to compete over a longer period of time in the SEC than Missouri does. But right now, A&M is going into the toughest division in college football. and it's not. It won't always be this way, but I mean, you got to look at it. Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, Auburn,
South Carolina.
Now,
I mean, I think they had South Carolina on their schedule.
The
so,
yeah, but they're in the East. But I'm just looking at their division. Missouri, at least Florida was down last year. Tennessee's been down. Kentucky is Kentucky. Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt.
You son of
know what I mean? South Carolina's better this year, but Georgia's kind of not as great as they typically are. So the East,
you never know though. Georgia, everybody thought they were going to be awful. 0-2 start last year. Then look, 10-2.
I like South Carolina this year. Though,
I do too. I like old Balls coach. I've always liked him, even though he takes a shot at Kentucky every season. He loves to do that.
South Carolina's defense is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going to be good. They're always tough. I mean, Steve Spurrier is a good coach. He's always going to have a good team. Wrapping up, continue on to SEC for the final couple minutes here, Mark. Do you think this is the year that the SEC is taken down by another, maybe another national champion of a different conference, or is it still the king?
No, I think USC wins the national championship this year. I think they
are they eligible?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they walked through the Pac-12.
That's right. Barkley came back,
and they are pretty well loaded.
They're easily going to walk through the Pac-12. That's the given.
The only thing is that I hate to back USC because Lane Kiffin. I think he could screw up a wet dream.
Talk about a cheater.
I think he probably is the worst football coach to ever get to where he is. Like, he's literally accomplished nothing and got the USC job. And it's all because of his dad. But you know what? The team is locked and loaded. Players play football. Coaches can screw it up, but he'd have to screw it up quite royally, in my opinion, to lose this game.
Yeah, I'm glad you. As soon as you said it, there's a tweet out for the AP poll of slowly the rankings are coming out. USC preseason number 1, Alabama 2, LSU 3, Oklahoma 4, Oregon rounding out the top 5. I'll update you all some more. Maybe the Cards. You think the Cards will squeak in the AP?
They might. They were like 27th in the coaches poll. So I think after the Big East Media Day, when they were the unanimous selection for the Big East champion, and some other good press that's coming out since the coaches poll was released, I think the writers probably put them in. So we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were from anywhere from 21st to 30th.
Now, do you think they need the highest ranking they can get to help? Consider they do have not the best schedule, strength-wise, which in the BCS does hurt you. If you look at maybe an undefeated Boise State over the past 2 years, do you want them to be ranked as high as they can get? So if they do have this type of season that they could have, it'll help them at the end of the season in those final rankings?
Yeah, I mean, I want them to be ranked as high as they possibly can. I don't think we're talking national championship for Louisville this year. If they go 12-0,
I've heard some national people talking about it.
Well, let's just say they go 12-0, I think they park at 3. And I don't think that they.
And does that really make you? I mean, 12-0, Mark, in an automatic bid conference, BCS conferences, and you don't make the national championship. Wouldn't that piss you off?
It would anger me. But that's the reason why we're going to get a 14 playoff, and why that will also become a 6 to 18 playoff in the future. And we don't have to like this current system, but it's the same system that put an 8-5 UConn team in the Fiesta Bowl.
There it is, Mark.
I mean,
Louisville, number 25 in the AP
number
poll.
25.
There it is. Breaking news, Card fans. Look at that, Mark. We're breaking news.
It just came out too.
It's literally being tweeted out. So seconds ago. I'll run off the top 25 real quick for everybody in the final minute here. So if I could find it, rounding out the top 10, Mark. I was surprised Kentucky didn't make it in there. You know.
I'm not surprised Kentucky didn't make it at all.
I was obviously joking.
It was obviously a joke.
Round out the top 10, we got Georgia, who you just said you don't really like this year, number 6. Florida State, 7. Michigan, Florida State and Michigan get kind of a tie there, 7-8. Number 9, South Carolina.
I like South Carolina.
Number 10, Arkansas.
Florida and Georgia.
So you have 4 top 10. Is that 4? 5 top 10 SEC teams. One, by the way, just Big East 1 ranked team in Louisville, number 25. Let's see.
That's interesting.
I'm trying to find any more notables. I don't see anything that really too important to us. But yeah, Louisville's ranked number 25. There you go. You're in the rankings preseason.
Made it up.
I think that's good. I I think that the higher you're ranked, the better for Louisville. If you do have that type of season, I don't think you will as well.
I mean, I think
undefeated.
they're going to go 9-3, 10-2, possibly. That would be amazing. Anything less than 9-3 is kind of not living up to expectations. But one of the things is that I've been around Charlie Strong for 3 years now. It's very interesting listening to him talk about this team in contrast to his other 2 teams. He downplayed those teams. He told them that they weren't very good. This team, he doesn't say that. He tells them that they're good.
3 Pac-12 teams ranked. Obviously, you had USC at 1. Number 21 is Stanford and Oregon in the top 5.
Stanford's still in there.
And Stanford number 21. Boise State coming in at 24, just ahead of the Cards.
No Washington, no Arizona State.
Ohio State number 18. Florida 23. Some notables: Oklahoma State 19, Kansas State 22, TCU 20. Big 12 newcomer West Virginia 11
and TCU
11.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, actually, they're picked second in the league. West Virginia is. They kind of came in, and Oklahoma's picked up to win the league, but West Virginia's sitting there.
Now, is that you think that may play? I know we just wrapping up his first hour here. Do you think that might have played a reason why they took West Virginia, knowing that that team's going to be very good immediately?
It could have been for an immediate impact.
It
could have been, but also because it kind of gathered the entire state of West Virginia rather than one county for
unfortunately for
County.
them.
And then also they get a lot of Southern Pennsylvania audience as well.
That's
so,
a good point. So anyways, I know we're up against the break. Second hour, we're going to bring Mike Rutherford on, 10:15. Card Chronicles will be a great segment. Give us a shout, 384-1450, if y'all want to talk about these rankings that just came out. Cardinals, you ranked 25 preseason. Be happy. We'll be right back. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Come on and let me know. Should I cool it or should I blow?
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. My name is Mark Blankenbaker. I'm joined by Tyler Bloyd. And Tyler just bolted out the door. I have no idea what just happened, but he is left me here all by my lonesome. It's just me and Adam now.
You must really hate the music.
I don't know. I mean, I think him and Kanye had a thing once, and so he didn't want to have like any sort of. Did Kanye do something to your girlfriend? Is that why you were so revolted and why you had to leave so quickly right then?
What are you talking about? Oh no, I don't have a girlfriend. No.
Okay, so
if you want to call me though, 384-1450.
Yeah, Tyler
I'm sure our
does
female
need a date.
listeners are very high. We want to get our trivia question out there because we got a lot of free Bats tickets to give away. Mark, last homestands this week, I believe. So if you do want to call us, try to win as many tickets as you really need. 384-1450. How many NBA championships did the Bird, Larry Bird, have? He did retire today back in 92, so why not have a little trivia question for him? Also, back in the day, 1982, Pete Rose set a record with hits. 13,941. It sets a record with his plate appearance. Sorry, he had the hit record too. He just sets all records. Bring him back to baseball. I don't like you, Bud Selig.
The Reds are going to win. The Reds are going to win the NL Central for sure.
We're not talking Central, Mark. We're talking World Series these days.
I know, but I'm going one step at a time, Tyler.
That's fine.
We're 6 games up with 43 to go.
A couple birthdays real quick, just before we get to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline. We got Jeremy Shockey, 1980. Yeah, I picked him up on my fantasy team 2 years ago, and he was a hell of a pickup. Roberto Clemente, one of the best pitchers ever in baseball back in the day, 34-72. And then another guy who good at Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, he died of pancreatic cancer.
He did. So a couple of quick things out there again. 10:15, about 10 minutes, we're going to have our man, Mike Rutherford, on. We're going to talk about this new ranking. It just came out, Card fans. Number 25, Mark.
Number 25.
Get hype.
Dos Cinco.
Let's get to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline, though, because I want to talk to somebody that might be interested in this UNC issue that we talked about earlier. Carolina Steve, how are you doing this weekend?
Just fine. Just before that, how many ACC teams were in I know you don't mention Florida State. Were Clemson, Virginia Tech, NC State, Georgia Tech, were any of those teams ranked?
I'm looking at the list right now, Carolina, and I honestly do not see them at all. I don't see one.
Okay, the reason I'm saying I got my Sports Illustrated Wednesday, and they had 6 SEC teams and 5 ACC teams ranked in the top 25.
Here we go. I got it. There it is. See, I'm not looking at a list of the rankings. I'm looking down an article. The ACC champion Clemson, number 24. Virginia Tech, number 16. And then they also have one other guy in there. I can't find who it is. They do have another one in there, Carolina.
Okay, now, would my man Larry Bird have won 3 championships?
You are correct. Give me the years. Do you know what years?
Don't know quite the years, but I'm a big Larry Bird fan. As a matter of fact, I stopped watching pro basketball the day he retired.
That's the best time to stop watching because that was the dream team. Was just dominant, way better than this year's team. Michael Jordan even said they'd beat them because they're more well-rounded. It's Carolina. Yeah. Are you wanting some of these Bats tickets? We got plenty of them.
Let me tell you what to do.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Give them to a boys or girls club. I would like to see some young kids get a chance to see professional baseball as my guest.
All right, fair enough.
That sounds awesome,
We'll drop them off this afternoon.
I've got a 10 here. Looks like I could possibly get them in. I'm sure they can get one counselor out there, 9 kids. Why not?
Yeah.
It's a great idea, Carolina.
You have a place you want them to get dropped off to?
No, just a place for young kids. This comes from when my late dad and I went to Augusta, Georgia, and we went for a practice round, and they had the little badge that you would stick on your shirt or whatever, and we were getting ready to go, and these little kids wanted to go in. My dad told me to take mine off and give it to them, and that's where that comes from.
There you go. That's Carolina's just the nice guy, knows knowledgeable, everything. Carolina, did you hear our Jacob Kuiper interview earlier? Did you catch the first hour?
I caught part of it, The reason, and I heard this, that nothing's being made of it is the four-letter network is made up of mostly ACC and Carolina grants.
Yeah, they are. The president or the CEO, president of ESPN is actually yes, he's a UNC grad, which is odd to me, kind of like Mark Emmert in Washington. He got mad at UK last year, but yeah, that's another story. But what are your initial thoughts? You're a Carolina guy. Are you suspicious of this being 100% truth, or maybe a little bit of off the radar?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to study all of it yet. I did talk to some friends of mine who know people high up in the Carolina rankings. I think this chancellor down there now was actually involved by being the head of that African Studies group. I think that he was telling me that. I'm not exactly sure, but if it did happen, Tyler, this is what's going to shock everybody out there. They ought to make them forfeit and give up money and suspend them. I hate to see it. I've got two kids that are on the team that played at my high school where my dad coached, and they're there. One of them is Kareem Martin, who Cardinal fans will hear a lot of this year. The other is a freshman, James Patterson, and he's 6'4", 300. And I hate it for these kids right there because of how hard they've worked and everything. And if they did do it, you know, Tyler, I'm the type person, I'm saying make them forfeit, put sanctions on them, whatever it takes, straighten it up. It's getting down to high school. I've heard of coaches changing grades for kids. Why can't we just put the kids back in athletics and not make it such a big business?
Yeah, Carolina, you make a good point there. Coming from a guy who dies North Carolina State, not just UNC or anything like that. You live in Dream, North Carolina. So coming from you, it's bad for fans. I couldn't, if this was UK and if it's coming down on us right now, I really wouldn't know what to do. I guess it's gonna come out here soon enough. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out what they do.
Carolina, as always, we appreciate the call. You got to call me tomorrow and talk a little NASCAR. We got Earl Heyman joining us.
I would, because I would ask you, what's the matter with our Olympic boxers?
There you go. Definitely call and get
great question.
You'll ask him that, and he'll give you the straight up answer.
Hey, Carolina, are you going to go to the?
Okay, y'all have a good. Y'all got the greatest show on the radio, brother.
Hey, are you going to go to the North Carolina game on September 15th here in Louisville?
No, actually, that's the day of the ARCA race at Salem, and that is an event that I do not miss because Bill Elliott, the man who won the $1 million, his son's going to be running up there. And ARCA has an autograph session before, and I got some friends I got to get Bill Elliott's autograph for it. And by the way, it's a lot cheaper to go there than it is to the Cardinals game.
There you go. Carolina, get me his autograph, and you have a fun time there. I'll be talking to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, Carolina.
Yeah, that guy is the guy. If he can admit that his team needs sanctions if it comes out, then anybody for any team, should do it because he dies North Carolina, kind of like the Truth dies Indiana.
Right. Well, you hate it for fans like Carolina,
exactly.
For fans like the Truth, for fans like you and me. Like if anything ever happens to our school,
what would you do?
You're just like, what? Now you're missing like 2 or 3 years.
Not to bring up the Penn State issue, but look at the Penn State fans. The Penn State parents, all the players that had nothing to do with it. Like, what do you do?
I know they've committed a greater majority of their lives to Penn State football, and now they're not going to have anything to play for. And what they have to play for is straight pride and potential pro prospects.
Yeah,
they play for the guy next to them.
I saw one guy actually transferred from Akron to Penn State, and he said he's very excited to take that. Obviously, he's excited to just go to the bigger program.
He wants to play in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's nothing. He's not excited. Let's get this break because we need to bring on our man. Mark needs to get out of here soon, so we need to bring on Mike Rutherford for Card Chronicle. First time ranked Louisville preseason since 2007, Mark.
2007.
You got a little smile there.
I know, man. It's been a long way. Steve Craigthorpe, you couldn't do it. You couldn't fully wreck it. We're back, buddy. We're Phoenix.
Louisville's back. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
So go ahead, go nuts, go ape. Especially in my pastel, I'm like you can't tell who made this new gospel. Homie, take 6 and take this. Haters, that don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't.
Back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Eating seeds is a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Mark Blankenbaker. I'm with CardsandCats.com. I'm joined by Tyler Bloyd, KentuckySports.co. We're on the line right now. We have one of the patriarchs of Louisville blogs, Card Chronicle, and Mike Rutherford. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. The AP Top 25 poll just came out like minutes ago. Louisville is in the top 25. Give me your thoughts.
I'm very, very excited. I think it's the first time since 2007. So it's been a long stretch, a unhappy stretch, and I'm glad it's come to an end. I think it's a deserved ranking.
Steve Cragthorpe could not wreck the ship. What do you think about that, Mike?
he certainly couldn't. I'm not going to get into it because I'll get mad, and it's a beautiful Saturday morning. I don't want to get mad.
Yeah, exactly. It's beautiful out there.
We ran aground there for a little while, but we were able to get towed out of there without totally flipping over like they did in Greece. John Hancock, he got you on the show, and he asked me to ask you a question. So, if you could spend a day with Charlie Strong, what would you do?
If I could spend a day with Charlie Strong, what would I do? We'd start off with a nice little a brunch. I don't know, maybe a little toast. I'd like to hit the golf course. I heard he enjoys golf. I think that'd be great. Maybe catch an episode of The Wire or a show of his choice.
Oh, yeah, great show.
Dinner at the most public place possible, so the most people could see us out in public as possible. And then, I don't know, cuddling at some point. I think that would have to come into play.
Candlelight?
Oh, yeah.
Candlelit, cuddling?
Candlelight. I think all those things would be included. I'm not sure the order, but all those would happen.
Oh, it sounds like a great day. I know if I was with Joker Phillips, I'd go swimming off, jumping in diving board and have ice cream.
I think that's about all he does these days. Yep. His repertoire is limited.
It is.
So, the top 25 poll did just come out. We know you have strong adoration for Charlie Strong. What do you think about this upcoming football season? I mean, how excited are you, and what do you think the final result is?
I mean, I'm very excited. I think most Louisville fans are, and I think it's justifiable. It's the first time, Louisville's had really any hype since the 2007 season. You're seeing that with the national ranking. A lot of different things go into. I think some of it is the fact that they won, 5 of their last 6 regular season games last year. It's also that they have so much talent, especially in the sophomore and junior class. And then I think you have your first real bona fide superstar since the Brian Brom days in Teddy Bridgewater. There's a lot of reasons for Louisville fans to be really, really excited about not just this year, but the season after and maybe the 2 after that. And then I think the other big thing is you look at the schedule. Not overwhelmingly challenging by any stretch of the imagination. The Big East looks, as down as it's been since Louisville's been in the conference, which isn't good in terms of national perception, but is good in terms of Louisville getting a chance to go to the BCS game and making a national splash for the first time since 2007 Orange Bowl. So I mean, for all those reasons and plenty more, Louisville fans have every reason to be excited about the season. I think it's going to end up being a great run. It's hard to envision this team winning any less than 8 games, or even any less than 9 with the schedule. So, I think we're all ready to get this thing started.
Absolutely, and you mentioned that Teddy Bridgewater is probably the most bona fide superstar. It might be a little early in his sophomore season to get a Heisman campaign started, but if he has a season that, I think most people around here think he will have, what sort of Heisman marketing campaign could we put together for a guy like Teddy Bridgewater?
I think the obvious is Teddy Bear. I mean, I think I'll go ahead and throw that out there. Maybe something that squeezes the old Saturday Night Live skit, the Chainsaw Teddy. Maybe a chainsaw comes out. I don't know. Kids wouldn't play with it, but it definitely would make a statement. People would be talking about it, and that's what you really want to do with these things. You want them to go viral. I would love that. Maybe some sort of bridge. People love bridges. Kids always play with bridges. Throw that out there.
And have water buckets hanging from the bridge.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I like where your head is. I was thinking more like a bridge with just like Ted across it. I don't know.
Yeah.
those things are kids. Who doesn't love bridge? A good story about a bridge.
Exactly. I mean, I saw your movie poster that you created just the other day.
I can't take credit for that. It was a user on the site, but it was not created by me. I'm not nearly that.
Well, I saw it on your site. Then how about that?
Yeah, there you go.
And I thought it was hilarious. I made one previously that was not as robust. It was very
CardChronicle.com for all the listeners.
CardChronicle.com. We're with Mike Rutherford, and we're just talking.
We're just talking
about different ideas.
Mike, I know you mentioned the fans for Louisville. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts of what are it's been kind of high expectations for Louisville fans. Do you think that is good, or do you think maybe as Charlie would say, kind of tone it down just a tad?
I think it's better than low expectations. I think a lot of it is the fact that Louisville hasn't really been. Louisville fans had a taste of what it's like to be in the national spotlight for. That stretch during Bobby Petrino, and even at the end of the John L. Smith era, and then to have it sort of taken away so suddenly and so unexpectedly, really left a bitter taste in a lot of Louisville fans' mouths. So when you see sort of a glimmer of hope to get back to that, I think that's the reason you're seeing such excitement. In addition to just being a good team and a chance to have a good season, I think it's justified. I think the fact that the team's going to be good, and the fact that we haven't been good for so long. Everyone who went to that Orange Bowl in 2006 knows how fun it was, and we all sort of assumed that those days were going to be not few and far between in the future. We assumed we'd be back sooner rather than later, and then you go bowlless for 3 seasons, you don't even get to go anywhere. So I think that played a large part in it, and this is the first time we've really thought we have had any chance to get to a BCS game. So I think maybe I think it's a little bit over the top. This isn't a team that's really top 10 good on paper, but in terms of just the fact that there's a chance for Louisville to win the conference championship and play somebody really, really good in a BCS game, I think that in that regard, the expectations are warranted.
Right, and Mike, I'm so confident that Louisville is going to win the Big East, and and make a BCS bowl that I'm actually going to go down to the FIU game and kind of pre-scout out the Miami area.
Joel Schaefer will be there
for the Orange Bowl. So I'm really excited about that. Like for me, I think the Louisville season kind of shapes up in the first 5 games, and I'm really obviously the Kentucky game, and you got North Carolina, and then you follow that up with a road game against Southern Miss. For me, that's kind of the measuring stick, the barometer. How Louisville, if they can win all of their first 5 games, I think they're on the right road. If they drop 1, they could still be on that road. If they drop 2. Then maybe we're hitting the panic button a little bit. But are you going to do any road games? And what do you think about this UK game coming up?
No, I went to 2 road games last year, and we actually lost both of them. So it's like that in addition to sort of the dismal home schedule. I felt like I was sort of a bad luck charm at some point. I went to Cincinnati, and then I went to North Carolina. And there's a lot of fun. I will say to anybody listening, if you have a chance to go, you said you're going to the Florida International game. If you have a chance to go to a sort of a non-conference road game, I think it's a really cool. It's something really, really cool to do because in addition to just being somewhere unfamiliar and being able to see a new campus and a new city, there's sort of a weird bond you have with the other Louisville fans there because you're sort of in this sort of foreign environment together. It's kind of a cool feeling. I'd never done it before. I went to the UNC game last year, and it was a lot of fun. I think the early part of the schedule, it's interesting, and I'm not just saying this. It sounds like a homer thing to say. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Louisville fan. It's sort of a sneaky kind of almost a no-win schedule because you're playing a lot of games that you're not going to get a lot of credit for winning, but at the same time, they're not bad teams. They're games you could easily lose. The UK game's a rivalry game. Carolina, as rocked as they are about the off-field stuff, this is still a team that's still picked to win their division in the ACC. There's talent there. They beat Louisville last season. They're fully capable of coming in here and pulling an upset, if it even is an upset on September 15th. And then FIU beat Louisville last year, and you're going down there. It's another chance for them to be in the national spotlight and make a national splash. And same deal with Southern Miss, who really doesn't like Louisville to begin with. They're going to be way, way up for that game. And those are 4 non-conference games that are really, very losable. But on the other hand, you're not going to get a lot of credit nationally for winning those games. So I think it's sort of a tricky non-conference schedule. You don't want to say tougher than people expected, but it's almost a no-win situation. But I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see how they do in those 5 games heading into Big East play. And I think we'll know a lot more about this team's chances to go to the BCS at that point.
Right, yeah, and Southern Miss, they were 12-2 last year. It's winning 12 games in any level is amazing and really hard to do. They lose their coach and a whole lot of players off that team, but Hattiesburg is probably, it might as well be Afghanistan for Louisville fans, because it's one of the most hostile environments in all of college football. It might be small, but I've been there and I've heard things that I've never heard in any other place in humanity, which is
worse than
scary.
West Virginia.
It's up there, but I've done a lot of traveling around. The furthest I've ever gone was Colorado State with my dad. It was one of the coolest trips we've ever taken. But Larry Fedora left Southern Miss and actually has gone to North Carolina. And I tell a lot of people Larry Fedora could beat Louisville football twice in 2012 if they're not careful, because he's one of the best coaches out there. I don't know if North Carolina is going to be ready. But I'm not going to discount them either way.
They do have North Carolina ranked just outside the top 25 of the AP. It looks like he's at 29. So they're pretty. It will be a pretty tough game for Louisville, regardless. They're a talented team.
I think by the end of the year, people will appreciate the North Carolina game a lot more than they appreciate right now.
Yeah, but Mike, I want to ask you. Obviously, 2 weeks away. The game. Are you going to be? You're going to be there, I'm assuming, right?
I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, we'll be there as well. We're all excited about that. That game alone, could it make or break Kentucky's schedule? And again, not Kentucky's, Louisville's schedule. If they were to come out of the game with a loss to start the season, would that put a damper on what could go down the road?
I tell you, it would be a huge, huge blow. You never like to get too high or too down after the UK-ULO game, especially when it's the first game of the season, because you do have your whole conference schedule ahead of you. For Louisville, it usually means a chance to redeem your season, maybe go to the BCS like they did last year. Had they made that incredible run, and actually for a while it looked like they were going to go to the Orange Bowl. And for UK, when you're in the SEC, there's always a chance to make a national statement. Pretty much you're playing a ranked team every other week.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a gigantic, gigantic blow for Louisville, and it'd be a huge, huge boost for Kentucky, and especially Joker Phillips. I haven't really wrapped my mind around the possibility of Louisville losing that game, or not the possibility, but I haven't really tried to think about it. It'd be a really, really big blow for U of L, just because of all the excitement surrounding the program right now. It would be, Louisville could redeem itself, but it'd be bad. We'll leave it at that. It would be bad.
Yeah, for sure. I'm quite excited to see the Cats come into Louisville and take you guys down. I can't wait.
It's not going to happen.
I know. I got Louisville in the victory. I think it will be a good game, though. We will find out. Mark's got to get out of here. He's heading to the practice. We appreciate you taking a few minutes and joining us. I'm sure we'll talk to you here soon now that the season's getting going.
No problem. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate you checking in.
Yeah, I love getting weird with Mike. His segments are always great. The first time we had him on, it was always fun.
He's definitely my favorite all Louisville blog.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's fun,
and he's one of my favorite interviews, just because you can just talk with Mike and have some fun. That Joker, Charlie Strong, hanging out with Charlie Strong Day sounds like one hell of a day, and I think I might want to tag along.
I think I want to do that too. I know. I don't know if I would want to end with the cuddling part, but I love Charlie Strong too, but I don't know about the cuddling part. I still don't know if I can do that.
Cuddling, spooning, you got to do what you got to do if you're hanging out with Charlie for a day. Mark, get out of here, go to the practice, get some good pictures, some good interviews, and you can check all that out on cardsandcats.com, KentuckySports.co. It's all over stuff. I'm sure you'll get some good interviews now that the top 25 is released.
I'm really hoping that we do, and maybe we'll get some starting lineups sort of cemented after this practice. They may not tell us, but I think they know pretty well.
Mark, use your skills, squeak some news out of there. Break something.
Use your skills. Use my Jedi mind tricks and make them tell me.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike, for joining us. Check him out, cardchronicle.com, the best Louisville-only blog out there, in my opinion, as well. It's always been my go-to site. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Myself, Tyler Boyd, Mark Blankenbaker. I'll see you next week, Mark.
See you, bro.
Fires, loud neighbors, flashlights.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. We've had a great show lined up so far for you all. We had thanks to Jacob Kuiper, KentuckySports.co contributor, for joining us in the first hour. And, of course, a great segment we just had with Mike Rutherford of thecardchronicle.com. It's always fun talking to Mike. You don't have to just be serious. You can just go with whatever you want to do. I know you all want to get out there and get a good deal going on, so time is running out. Oxmoor Ford's killer service deals. Hurry in for a Fuel Saver Works oil change package for only $29.99. A Motorcraft complete brake service as low as $89.95 and up to $80 in rebates on a set of 4 tires. Now through the end of August, that's at Oxmoor Ford, Lincoln, the Quick Lane there in St. Matthews. Get out there, tell them you heard it on 1450 to Sports Buzz. Mention the Weekend Sports Buzz. They give you the good old deals they got going on. If you want to give me a shout, do so. It's just me and Adam in here for the final 30 minutes. Who knows? We're going to get really weird. 384-1450. We'd like to talk to you all. And again, Carolina, thanks for calling in and getting the Larry Bird 3 NBA championship trivia question right. He actually won those in 1981, 1984, and 1986. He retired in 1996. So, or 1992, sorry. That was a year, 1992 today. So back in the day, Larry Bird, one of the greatest out there, and we're going to go drop off these Bats tickets at a local charity, try to get the kids out there for the Bats games, last homestand. So we're glad Carolina called in and did that for the kids. 384-1450. I wanted to kind of mention that, looking at this schedule here, the top 25 came out. Obviously, we have USC, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Oregon, Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, South Carolina, Arkansas, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Clemson, Texas, Virginia Tech, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, TCU, Stanford, Kansas State, Florida. We say then rounding out the AP Top 25, your Louisville Cardinals. For the Card fans, you should be excited. It's your first ranking since 2007. As a Kentucky fan, that's good for you guys. I'm not going to hate on you all. I know you all got a decent team. I expect us to come in hot against you all September 2nd. It's going to be a good game. I'd like to see us pull it out. I don't know if we will, but I do have good feelings about the season ahead for Kentucky. I know a lot of people don't. We'll find out. Well, I am going to jump to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line right now, 384-1450. I got the fake Ryan on the phone. How are you doing today, my man?
Doing good. How y'all feeling this morning?
Feeling great. We got a beautiful Saturday.
Man, that UNC story is whack, y'all.
Yeah, you're not telling me, man. Did you catch it earlier, the Jacob Kuiper?
Man, they're doing them wrong. That ain't right, y'all.
You don't agree with it? You think you like the cheating?
No, man. Those boys up there just trying to ball, man. Speaking of balling, what are y'all doing later? I'm gonna be doing some balling later.
Are you? Where are you gonna be balling at? I'll come out there and hoop with you.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm loving the show, y'all. Keep it up. I'm out.
We appreciate it there, Fake Ryan. God, that's the second time he's called in. He called in with Rashawn. That's ridiculous. I want to get it thanks to Adam Taylor. He's the new intern we've had. We've had him for a while now, but he's got his first show running the board alone. No Matt in the studio. It's kind of nice not having Matt back there. I'm tired of looking at his ugly face. I want to go on a little rant, though, about the Cincinnati Reds, how awesome we are. And since it is my show for the next 20 minutes, I might as well do whatever I want to do. And we're going to talk Reds because they are they've been in first place, sitting pretty. In the current series against the Cubbies, they took the first one last night, 7-3. Ryan Ludwig continued his second half domination of the baseball. I mean, he's one of the hottest players in the league. The Reds are sitting at 72-47, first in the Central, 6 to 7 games up on the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are just in a battle with the Cardinals. They're just hurting each other. This is definitely the Reds division from here. I'm excited about this because I've been saying it all year. I know you've been listening, been probably disagreeing with me, thinking I'm crazy, but the Reds are going to the World Series. They got home field advantage for the NL throughout the playoffs. I'm very excited. You got one of the best pitching staffs out there. We've only thrown 5 starters in the whole season, which I don't know if I've ever seen a Cincinnati Reds staff do that in my time. I know if you go back to the 1990 World Series team and maybe the 89 team, during the Big Red era, I'm sure they did that. But 5 pitchers throughout all season, the only team in baseball to do that. Yeah, you might think it might wear them down. No, they got plenty of. Bronson Arroyo, he's rubber arm. He can do fine. Johnny Cueto's an ace for any staff who can go 200 plus. Homer's on. He's been there for 5-6 years now. He's experienced. He's fine. He can do that. You don't have to worry about Mike Leake. He'll be the long relief come playoff time. And then, of course, Matt Latos. We didn't bring him in for no reason, trading out the house. I'm excited about this team. You got to look into. You got the Cubbies today, Cubbies tomorrow, and then you're looking into. A couple, maybe tough series. I'm not for sure if you want to call the Phillies too tough right this season. They've had injuries. They're not playing like they usually are as the Phillies team. I'm going to pull up the schedule real quick here. Adam, are you a baseball fan at all? You watch any kind of baseball?
I am not.
You're not. Are you a football guy? What are you? Cardinal fan, I'm assuming?
Yep.
I saw that stupid tag on your car when I pulled in. Yeah. So let's see here. The Cubs right now, if this will load up, there we go. Cubs, then we got 4 against the Phillies, 3 against the Cardinals, 3 against the Diamondbacks, moving on around down Astros. So if you look at the remaining next few series after this Cubs, you do have the Phillies and the Cardinals. I mean, if you don't play well in that stretch, you could get the Pirates or the Cardinals right back into this. You lose, 4 of 7 games there, that could hurt you. I think the Reds are going to be okay. I don't know if they've had that type of stretch all season. I know my man Handsome Jimmy's excited about the Reds as much as I am. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the Reds with our man Lance McAllister from 700 WLW in Cincinnati. He's the Inside Pitch radio host Monday through Friday before Reds games. Always exciting to bring Lance on. He'll bring good flavor to it. Real knowledgeable guy, so you got to tune in tomorrow for Lance talking Reds. We're going to talk to Farrell Elliott about Reds. Obviously, he's our fantasy football man at KFFSC.com. But he's Farrell. He loves the Reds. He'll talk about them all day with us, so we're excited for him. And, of course, Earl Hammond. Earl Hammond is going to be co-hosting with us from 10 to noon. Former Louisville Cardinal, Orange Bowl champion, Super Bowl champion, boxing amateur champion, ringside heavyweight national, Indiana Golden Gloves champion. I can't wait to bring Earl in. We're all going to take pictures with Earl and his belt. I'm going to put the belt on. I'm going to look like my man, Handsome Jimmy V. I can't wait for that. But if you want to give me a shout, 384-1450 on the Reds, do so. I'd like to hear from you. I appreciate Mike Rutherford from the Card Chronicle for stopping by. Always good having him. And, of course, Jabe Kuiper. Little down the road events we got coming on to next weekend. We will be at the Horseshoe Casino on Sunday hosting the show from 10 to 1. We're going to extend it an extra hour as we will be at the Kentucky Fantasy Football State Championship Draft. It goes on Friday through Sunday at the Horseshoe Casino. Farrell Elliott, the man, the myth, the legend himself, is getting it all organized. It should be teams. Get your team name ready. You got 1 week. We'll be talking to Farrell tomorrow about this, but you got 1 week, fantasy goers, to get your team straight, know who you need. Don't just go out there drafting, the top name guys. You need to look into depth. You might look at Jacobin Brown. You might want to look at multiple guys that you wouldn't even think about after rounds 4, after picks 40, after picks 70, and picks hundreds. You need to study this up because this KFF SC draft is no joke. 300-plus team or 200-plus teams. It's going to be a crazy event. We'll be there. And then, of course, September 2nd, Sunday, we're going to be out tailgating, doing the show. We'll be at the 1450 short bus will be out there. Matt's RV, broken down, piece of junk will be out there. You got to look for us. Yeah, Adam, it's crazy. We're going to party. We're going to do the show out there pregame. Then myself and John will be there getting all the highlights. And you can check that out at KentuckySports.co after the game, player interviews. I can't wait. I know everybody out there can't wait because it's football season here in the Bluegrass. We got the Governor's Cup coming up. Some Kentucky news tidbits that have came out, over the last week or so. We had the jerseys, the numbers released for Kentucky. The West Liberty thing, charity event that went down. Cal Perry got organized. That was great. Glenn Faulkner, he's out. Kentucky, the guy for Indiana. We are here in Jeffsville. Some Indiana news. Ron Patterson is ineligible for the Indiana Hoosiers. He's one of their top recruits that was going to be a freshman. This is kind of odd. I believe he took some summer courses, and he failed those. Supposedly, those are just per IU. IU sanctions those courses, and he failed them, which caused him to be ineligible, so he could be going elsewhere. A school that is interested, maybe Louisville, That is a big maybe. We don't know. John Hancock has a nice little blog up there, Bleacher Report and a site, talking about Ron. So if you want to get on there and check it out, do so. Also, we had high school football kickoff last night. That was, my first experience broadcasting a high school football game. We were out in Buckner, Kentucky for the Oldham County Atherton game 1 of the year for the Colonels and the Rebels. The Colonels put it to them 55-0. It was like I said, my first broadcast experience. I was awful. It's totally different, Adam, than being on the radio, but I enjoyed it. I'm excited to be partners with Pegasus Sports and Mike Montgomery, be doing a lot of games. But Oldham County wasn't the other game. There were some big-time games. Obviously, we got a lot of Trinity listeners to the 1450 show. They put it on Brentwood Academy last night, 52-23. I believe I was watching this on Twitter as I was doing the game. Brentwood was up on Trinity, I believe, in this midway through the second quarter, and then it was just a straight rock fest from there. Trinity, put it on 52-23. This might be another top 10 national team. Obviously, they already are. This might be another top team in the nation. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to knock them out this year in our state. If they do, more props to them. St. X, you got Mike Glazers last year. Maybe you could have him a great season, get him out there. You all won your first game in a blowout fashion, 52-7 last night over Fern Creek. Male, 48-7 over Floyd Central. South Oldham, 41 over Bullitt Central, 35 on I believe it was a last play, end zone touchdown, kind of Hail Mary-esque type play to get the season started. Central 27, Manual 7, Lexington Catholic 21, Bell County 7. If I'm correct, Highlands may have went down to Dixie Heights. You can get on the site. John's got a great rundown of all the high school sporting scores around the area. My man Nick Coffey on the inside the press box, he went to Bullitt East. They took down Doss in their game 49-21. There's a lot of good scores. High school's going off. I'm excited. Can't wait. I'm pretty sure Jefferson 1450 is broadcasting Jeffersonville High School games. They actually had a tough one last night. 29-25 loss to Eastern of Louisville. It was a good game from what I heard. I actually talked to a few of the Eastern coaches last night at the place I was at, and they said it was one of the best games that they've been around, in their opinions. Hard fought from what I hear. So football season's here. Highlands, take it correct. Highlands came back, beat Boyle County 52-31, so don't listen to what I said. Incorrect. Anyways, let's get to this last break. Adam, come back. I'll keep ranting, see what else I can talk about for 10 minutes. Give me a call, 384-1450. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
You know you should be glad.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
We're back with the Weekend Sports Buzz. Final segment, 384-1450. Give us a shout on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. And we're presented by livingforless.org and Smart Shoppers. Get on livingforless.org. They have great half-off deals on there. Roosters. They have golfing. You know, we're middle of August, coming up in September. Golfing's coming up. The season's coming to an end. If you want to get some good 50% off deals at maybe a Champions Point or Covered Bridge here in Indiana, they have great deals. Roosters, 50% off. Wick's Pizza. Get on there, livingforless.org. They'll give you some good prices. Mentioned that Louisville, you know, the scout rankings, a little basketball. We've been a lot of football talk going to be going on the Weekend Sports Buzz from here on out, but some basketball. Louisville is now ranked 6th in the newest scout rankings for 2013. That's very good for Louisville. Moving up, Rutino's got himself a good class coming in with Anton Gill, Terry Rozier. I'm sure he's going to bring in some more guys. You got Florida 1, Kansas 2, Michigan 3. I don't know. Michigan, they're just always Michigan to me, the fighting Beelines. I just don't trust them. Marquette 4, North Carolina 5. So you got some teams in the mix that you're not generally used to being in there in the top rankings, like a Marquette, like a Michigan. Kind of odd Marquette's in there. If I'm correct, Buzz Williams was on one of those CBS Sports lists. I'm not going to throw out the exact one, but, you know, he may have did this so. And let's see here. The CBS is sticking on the Big East. The Big East has now hired their newest president, Mike Oresco, who replaced John Marinato, who, of course, resigned a month or two back, you know, with all this issue going on that was going on with the conference realignments, the TV deals that were, you know, struggling. You know, it's a good pickup for Louisville. He obviously has some connections with some TV. ESPN will be dropping the Big East soon, and several networks have been inquiring for the Big East, according to SportingNews.com. It's good for Louisville, and it's good for the Big East to maybe to keep that automatic bid. If they can get a deal, maybe keep Louisville in there, keeps their power team happy. Bring in somebody. You got to bring in somebody. If not, you got to go to the Big 12, Card fans. But that's down the road. That's a whole year from now. You got your football back. I'm excited as everybody. I know everybody's probably laughing at me being a Kentucky fan, thinking, "Oh God, you're all just going to suck. You're going to win 2 games at most, 3 games at most." But you know, I kind of beg to differ. I think 5 wins is what I'm predicting in Kentucky, with the potential of 6. Call me 384-1450 if you disagree. I know most of you probably do. As Louisville, we broke down the scheduling last week. I got Louisville at 9 wins with a potential of 10. Louisville's got the potential of 12-0. I do know this, but being realistic, as I'm going to try to be, I think it's going to be a 9-3 season. I just think Louisville will pull out. Have a game that they just shouldn't lose. They possibly do. Maybe that North Carolina game. Maybe the Rutgers at the end of the season. Maybe Kentucky being the rivalry game. You never know. If you remember back in 2002, I believe Kentucky, like I mentioned earlier. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great ride. That's all I know. I want to see Kentucky's quarterback situation get cleared out. I know Max Smith is supposed to be number 1 right now. You got Morgan Newton biting on his tails with the 2 freshmen, 3 or 4, kind of just slowly behind. If it's Max Smith, I'm excited for the sophomore. He's a tall guy. He can lead this team. He has SEC Player of the Year last year. A lot of people thinking he's not the type of quarterback who wants to run a program. Well, until he is proven otherwise, which he had a decent year, I'm going to go ahead and say I like Max Smith being there. I'm going to jump to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line right away because we just got a few minutes left. My man Brad Steen from KentuckySports.co is on the line. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing great. It's just me and Adam in here today. No Matt. Mark had to leave early, so it's just me and Adam for the final 30, and I've been ranting.
Oh, man, I'm not seeing a crime in that. You do a pretty good job at that.
I appreciate it, Brad. Obviously, Brad is our Reds rap writer for KentuckySports.co, Cars and KentuckySports.co, and you're also going to be branched into UK now. We got the season going, Brad. You are a Kentucky fan. Are you excited for this upcoming season, this Louisville-Kentucky game in 2 weeks?
A lot of people would say that it's hard to get behind Kentucky football, but you know what? I'm excited. This is my first year I'm ever covering them. But, if you look at the schedule, it's a daunting schedule, as it always is in the SEC. But I'm really excited. As you said, Maxwell Smith is probably going to be the starter. in my opinion, that's kind of his job to lose because, I mean, if you look at it, it's like I said, it's his job to lose. Morgan Newton has given him a run for his money, but let's see what Maxwell Smith can do first.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for the season. I know, I mean, a lot of people kind of tend to overlook the start of football seasons, especially, with the expectations coming from last year's kind of down year, which, previous bowl games 4 years in a row. I'm excited. I don't care what people tell me. They say, oh, you Kentucky fans, you don't like football. I generally do like football. I love it. I'm excited it's here. Brad, the AP Top 25 came out. Louisville was ranked 25. Congrats to them. First time they've been preseason ranked in AP since 2007. Kentucky, on the other hand, if you look at their schedule and look at who is ranked, they face 4 ranked teams. That would be maybe 4 ranked teams from the conference. Add Louisville to the mix, there's 5. You got Louisville, Florida, South Carolina, Arkansas, Georgia, all ranked. Tennessee's just outside the top 25. Vanderbilt, just outside the top 25. I mean, are we ever going to get a break?
Will we ever get a break? That's a great question, man. The biggest thing I can tell Kentucky fans right now is just be patient with Joker. He's bringing in really good recruits for the upcoming seasons, the 2013, the 2014. I just read on Twitter that Patrick Childs is trying to convince James Quick to come to Kentucky. So, he's getting the guys in place and to work in his system. So the biggest thing I can tell Kentucky fans is to be patient with Joker. Rome wasn't built in a night, and Rich Brooks definitely didn't build what he built overnight either.
Yeah.
So give time to give Joker his players and build his program.
Yeah, I'd have to totally agree with that, Brad. I've said it, every show, every weekend. I hound on it that you got to give Joker's guys a chance to get out there, get his guys, and let him prove that his guys can do it. And if they can't, then you got to look elsewhere. I'm not dumb, and no Kentucky fans are, but give him time. If we have a down year, give him time. I know it'd be a contract negotiation. Joker, you do got to have a good season. Brad, we're up against the end of the show here. If you want to follow Brad on Twitter, what's that account?
It is Steen Keisko. It's at STIENE, and then in all capital letters, it's KYSCO.
There you go, at Steen Keisko. Check him out on KentuckySports.co. He's got great Reds update. Brad, thanks for calling me real quick.
No problem.
It's been a great show. For all you listeners for Final 30, sorry it was just me. I'm sure you'd rather have both me and Mark in here, but so it happens sometimes. You can check us out on Twitter as well, KentuckySports.co, at CardsandCats.com, and at 1450 The Sports Buzz. And of course tomorrow, don't miss out. Earl Heyman co-hosting from 10 to noon with me and Kelly Patrick, Lance McAllister coming on, Farrell Elliott coming on. It's going to be a hell of a show. You cannot miss out. Thanks for listening. It's been fun. Adam, good job today, buddy. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.